complete the square for this problem. So to start off with, let's make sure that our x squared term has that coefficient of 1. And since this one doesn't, it has -4, I'm going to actually factor out a -4 and pull it from all three terms because they all have a factor of -4, so I can do that. So that leaves me with -4 times x squared. Then if I take out -4, divide out -4 from -12, I'm left with positive 3x. And if I divide out -4 from -8, I get a positive 2. So the -4 is just going to carry in your answer all the way to the end. But now we'll do completing the square with this portion that's left in parentheses. So the next thing we have to do is split away that c term and then find that number that makes it a perfect square. So we get -4, and then I have the x squared plus 3x. I'm going to leave a space and then put the plus 2 on the outside. So I'm going to leave that space so that I can find 1/2 of that b number squared and add and subtract to counter each other. So I take the 3 and I take 1/2 of the 3 and square it. Half of 3 is 3/2. It is 1.5, but please leave it as a fraction. Squaring that leaves 9/4. So the 9/4 is actually the value that you put in those areas. So again, you'll add it to the inside. Always add because it's always positive because you're always squaring it. And then we'll subtract it on the outside. So that makes plus 9/4 inside the quantity and subtract 9/4 on the other side. So this one has some fractions. But again, because you're completing a square, it already puts it in the format where we're going to go through and factor that x squared plus 3x plus 9/4. But again, the beauty of completing the square is when you half that middle term before you square it, that is actually what this factors into. X plus 3/2, x plus 3/2. You don't really have to think about it. So that factors into x plus 3/2 squared. You still had the -4 that is multiplied to everything, and you also still had this 2 minus 9/4, which you need to keep it exact. So think of 2 as 8/4 and then subtract 9/4, so you're left with -1/4. And then the final step will be to distribute that -4 that you factored out to begin with. So it just sets in front of the x plus 3/2 quantity squared, but you'll do -4 times -1/4 and get +1. So -4 times the quantity x plus 3/2 squared plus 1 is the vertex form for the equation. It is the final answer for completing the square for this problem.